All right, all right, all right. So, guys, we are live now. We finally are live with Grizz. Grizz is in the house. I mean, काफी दिन से हम लोग try कर रहे थे यार, but finally he's here. Grizz, thank you so much for making time for being on Menace and the Monk. You can see the Menace is not here. Manas थोड़ी देर में आ जाएगा. He's just facing some issues with his computer, but he'll be here. Grizz, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing very well, yeah. Thank you very much for your invite. Our timings haven't matched, they've always clashed, but
Yeah.
today we are finally here, and it's absolutely my pleasure and honor to be here. Oh, yaar, kya naams ko pronunciation? I like to, Grizz is very strict with name pronunciation. Mazak chalta hai, yaar.
Right, we're getting started right off the bat with names, but Grizz, let's start a little bit about the last season. Obviously you were in Paris, and by the way, we did an episode with Shahid about what exactly happened in Paris. It was not a good scene yesterday. A minister from the French ministry has apologized to the Liverpool fans. So, but speaking beyond that, Grizz, what did you make of last season? What would you say?
क्या बोल सकते हैं यार, क्या कह सकते हैं last season का? The ultimate roller coaster. The
Yeah.
ultimate roller coaster. Like so many highs and so many lows, but it's exactly like a roller coaster, because what happens at the end of a roller coaster? You come down. And this is the only disappointment part of the season, that we didn't end on the high. So in real life, you don't you don't want to end up on the high on the roller coaster. In real life, you want to end low. But for us as a season, yeah, it was so close to immortality, absolutely immortality. We would have completed football. I would have deleted my channel. I would have deleted my socials. I would not let any other football fan speak to me ever again. But ऊपर वाले ने कुछ और सोचा. No, you can't go off the channels. You can't just delete your thing. So therefore we didn't complete immortality. But life goes on. We go again, as the saying goes, as our club's mentality is and the motto is, and we have to. We have to refresh, get ready. Finally, we had a few weeks break. I think we all wanted a few weeks break after the mental trauma. And now, I don't know about you guys, but I'm excited as hell to go in.
Grizz bhai, thank you so much for joining us on Menace and the Monk. I think it's a huge tick in our channel ka box that you are here with us. It genuinely means the world to us. Thank you so much for
Mention
being
not,
part.
man. Don't mention this again. It's absolute. We are brothers. It's absolute pleasure. And shout out to Tactical, who just left the comment there. I know who he is. So shout out to Tactically Obsessed. Was his name? Just I
Yeah,
left.
I think Prathamesh.
Yeah, his
Prathamesh.
name is Prathamesh.
Yeah.
Yes, I know him from Twitter.
I just first of all just wanted to ask you how are you recovering from last season? We'll get into the transfer talks. We'll get into contract negotiations. जो भी हम बात करेंगे लोग पूछेंगे. But I remember, and I think in the last live, Grizz, I was speaking with Nidhi, and I told him this is 2 days back. I found the courage and the heart to see the replay of the Vinicius goal for the first time, and that's 2 days back. Like the entire season was just so overwhelming emotionally. You spoke about the roller coaster, 63 games since January. Every game, especially in the league, was like a must-win game. I got tired by the end of it as a fan. Tired in the sense that I was exhausted.
Yeah,
How are you feeling now?
exactly same as you. Yeah. The reason why is because when you have, as a team, as a club, as players, as fans, if you have one final to look forward to, it's tiring enough, right? It's tiring. The emotional build up, the aftermath, whether you win or whether you lose, there's an emotion involved. It's either happiness or it's absolute sadness. But the problem, not the it wasn't a problem at the time, but the beauty of our season was, guys, every week was a cup final.
Yeah.
Every game was a cup final from, I don't know, from January onwards,
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah,
Yeah. So from January onwards, every game was, we can't lose. We have to win, not even draw. We can't drop a point.
yeah.
So it was so draining mentally as well. And as I said, we all needed a break. Of course, more so the players and the coach, but even as fans, and I like to go to as much games as I can live, home, away, Europe. I can't explain to you, how we felt at the end, or we didn't even get a chance to meet at the Champions League final because we were speaking. I was speaking to Nidhi just before you was coming on. That he was saying that it was awful, awful over there, and that's why it was too much tension, too much bad goings on. We didn't even get a chance to meet, but I can't explain to you. As soon as we hit back to UK, I was so glad. You've seen, you're braver than me. You've had a chance to watch back the replay. I don't want to see anything to do with the replay or anything. It's gone. It's finished. Khalas. We move on now. We have to start fresh and start with a blank mind. And now, as I said, I think I'm ready. I think I'm ready.
But Grizz,
Nidhi, I'm glad I'm not the only one, huh?
No, no,
Who
no.
no,
You're
no,
not the only
didn't
one.
have the courage.
no. I've watched it once. I have watched it once, and that's what I told you on the stream
Whole game.
that no. Just the goal and the highlights.
Okay. I
Uh,
was gonna call you Pagal. I was gonna name you, yeah, Menace and the Pagal. If you watch the whole game,
no,
wow.
no. I mean, I would not, torture myself like that. But I was telling him, but this, let's talk a little more about last season. Would you consider last season a disappointment? I would call it an underachievement, not disappointment, but I think we underachieved. Would you agree?
I think we've been fighting on my shows as well because we have so much difference of opinion, and that's the beauty of football.
Yeah,
That the opinions of but opinions should always be flexible. You shouldn't have opinions set in stone. Like this is the
exactly.
opinion and this is it.
Yeah,
And also objectives change throughout the season. Like you can have a different objective at the start of a season, you can have different objective in the middle of the season, depending on your circumstances. So for example, if we rewind to the season before, our objective was 100% to win the league, right? After we
yeah,
won the league. But by Christmas, we knew our objective was to try to get top four because we were decimated with injuries.
yeah,
So vice versa, come this January, I think the objectives was to win one of the big ones,
Yeah,
the Champions League or the Premier League. I always said from December that the Premier League is going to be very difficult because of the fact that we're trying to chase them from 14 points behind. We had a semi-slow start because of the
yeah,
injuries and everything. And the Champions League, I was adamant that Champions League was going to be ours. But you have to say that I think you're right. I have to accept you're right. I was fighting my inside demons to say it's a disappointment. How can we be disappointed? No, we can be disappointed, but we shouldn't be. What's the word? It's not a bad season.
yeah,
no,
yeah.
It's
no.
not the great immortal season that we hoped. It's a good season with so many highs that ended with lows. And of course, you remember the ending always, don't you? Film,
Mhm.
anything, you always remember
Yeah,
the ending. And the ending is disappointing.
The ending was disappointing, and we've seen Grizz, the likes of Origi, Minamino, and more importantly Sadio Mane leave the club. But we've seen some great movement very quickly in the transfer window when it comes to incomings as well. Fabio Carvalho, Darwin Nunez, then we have Ramsey, the right back. We'll get to those signings in a bit, but I saw a tweet of yours a day
yeah,
or two back, and you said that Liverpool Football Club, before the season starts, will break the internet.
right. And as we
Something
speak,
on,
we have a comment about it.
yeah, something like that. Something on. I'm paraphrasing it. Uh,
Mhm. No,
Can you
you. I
tell
think
us?
you. I think you said it literally.
Yeah.
You know, I think you did it perfectly. That's
So,
exactly what I said. So
what do you know that we don't know?
हाँ मतलब
I, I know that my daughter is very naughty. You don't know this. You don't know this. I know where I live exactly. You don't know this. But but
Give me
but
5 minutes, probably I can find
you
that
let
out.
me find
can
out.
we can we can we get to the meat of the matter?
You can find out. You can find out. But look, I think something is going to be announced before the start of the season that I think everybody had given up on. Um, in fact, 90% of the fan base, journalists, pundits, everyone, and that's all I can say at the moment. That's all I can say at the moment. So a lot of people had given up on something that will be announced within before the start of the season. God
Are
willing.
we are we allowed to take a guess?
By
Or
all means, of course, it's your channel. You
Nidhi,
buy
if
जो मर्जी
Nidhi,
करें.
Nidhi, no, I don't want to put you on the spot. That's
No,
not what
I
we do.
told him I won't respond. I won't respond. But but
So, I
but
mean, Nidhi, I get the feeling 90% of the fans were fearing the fact that Mohammad Salah will not sign the new deal, or we won't
Yeah,
reach an agreement. But
correct.
if I'm decoding what has been said, it sounds like Mo Salah could stay long term, Nidhi.
It sounds like
I
that.
mean, if
I
that's
mean
the
that
case,
that
it's it will
huh.
break the internet.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean that would be my guess. Grizz has a poker face right now.
no, my face is this is normal face. This is my normal face. As I said, look, and when I said break the internet, I should have specified the Liverpool side of the internet because obviously a lot of fans that follow me that are not Liverpool supporters are thinking that who cares what happens with Liverpool, you know. But I should have said
Hmm.
the Liverpool internet, and I'd like to think that it will be a joyous occasion because you know the way the journalists have come out and said no more transfer activity, etc., no more incomings. We need some good news to start the season. So, as I said, God willing, that should break before the season starts. In fact, it should definitely break before the season starts, which is good.
Grizz, were you surprised that Mane left?
No,
No.
no, I was very first and foremost, I was very happy the way he dealt with his situation.
Hmm.
I thought just so honorable of him. And the way some media tried to depict him was embarrassing and shambolic. He done the opposite. He man of his word, his integrity, such a good guy. I've had the pleasure of meeting him. I've been around his house to have food. He is the most humble guy ever, and I think the way he dealt with this situation, he told us very early in proceedings. He told us in I believe around January February that look, it's not about contract money, etc., etc. I want to try something different. I've been here 6 years. I've given you my everything. I'm happy with everything. I love the fans. I respect everything, but I need a new challenge and a new move. It's fine. You know, he's given us the best years of his life. We've had the best years of Sadio. Let's not forget that even though he was magnificent after AFCON, the previous 12 months or so, in my humble opinion, he wasn't so great. I, in fact, said it many times that we've seen the best of Sadio. We're not going to get that Sadio ever again. So now it's up to us when we decide when to either cash in
Hmm.
or not offer him the contract that he wants. And if somebody else gives him that contract, by all means, he's free to accept it. And I think he was very, very, the way him and his agent dealt with us showed, because no arguments, no nothing, pure love from the club, pure love from him. And I think I was very sad, but I wasn't surprised. Very sad, in fact.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
exactly.
think the feeling, amongst everyone was just sadness. Sorry, Nidhi.
Yeah, no, so you know what, I think, and I've said it earlier as well. I think that Mane, his formative years were in Austria, and that league sort of looks up to the Bundesliga, and in Bundesliga, Bayern Munich is the top dog, so you can understand him always sort of looking up to Bayern Munich, and when that offer came in, it's a great club,
When a
and
when a great club comes in for you, like Bayern Munich, who are getting rid of Lewandowski, and so
yeah,
Sadio Mane is going to be the main guy there, and the love and the affection they've shown him and the pull, because they went hard for him straight away, and you can't blame. I have no ill feeling towards Sadio Mane at all,
absolutely,
but also I don't have any bitterness towards the way the club handled it as well.
yeah.
I think it's an okay decision from all parties and all sides.
Yeah. Uh, Grizz, I'll come back to Mohamed Salah. If hypothetically Liverpool and Salah do strike a deal, how see this is going to be the biggest contract that Liverpool ever gives to any player, anyone. Just how big a change is this, or is this the next step that FSG has taken? Because it will have a spiral effect. First of all, the last few years, many people were saying that FSG are stingy. Boom, Darwin Nunez happened. Boom, Luis happened as well. Now, if they give hypothetically Mo Salah, whatever, 300, 350, 400, I don't know the numbers. So now the upper bracket is 300, 350, or whatever. The bracket changes because right now it's Van Dijk or Salah at 200, 220. Is this just not a contract extension, or is this now the owners telling us, now guys, now we're going to take it to the next level? We've given you Nunez, we've given you Luis, now we pay the wages as well.
It depends how you look at it. If you look at it from, if you compare us to oil states and oligarchs who run other clubs, then you're never gonna be comparable. We can't do it. So
But
if the sections of the fan base are comparing us to people that, as I said, just country-run states clubs, right? We can never match that. We can never compare that. If you're comparing us to an efficient-run football club, a well-run football club, then by all means and by all accounts, we are the most well, efficiently run club in the world. I don't think there's a denial of that. Us alongside with maybe Bayern Munich, maybe actually. We are the best run football club in the world, I believe. And every business, guys, it's so simple the way I look at it. And maybe I'm a simpleton, maybe I'm naive, but the way I look at it is every business in every field, we all know businesses,
Yeah.
worked in businesses, have businesses, know people, friends, family in businesses. When you're starting from scratch, you build up, because that's what we done really in effect, right?
yeah,
In effect, that's what we done. We
yeah,
were nowhere, and now we are on top of the iceberg. We are on top of the world, the hill. In every business, there's stages. And I'm of the opinion that we are at the stage where we have to evolve now. We had a business plan that took us to competing. Then it took us to winning. Now we are on top of the hill and it's fine margins. Now we have to evolve again. And these guys are not billionaires twice over for no reason. These guys are smarter than me, you. I speak for myself, maybe not you. They're smarter than me, and so they know where they are and what they need to do. And we have to sometimes just sit back and enjoy the roller coaster analogy again. We have to just sit back and enjoy it and trust the process. I agree with you. Now, this contract, if we get to an agreement, we will see that we're able to keep our best players, and the world knows, because we haven't. The last time we got rid of our best players was Coutinho was the last one.
Coutinho. Coutinho.
Yeah, Coutinho was the last one that we wanted to keep.
Yep.
Like Gini, Emre, Shaqiri, even Mane. Unfortunately, we were okay with them going, and that's why they've gone. We're not okay with Salah going. Otherwise, we can sell him tomorrow. We can sell him. We could have sold him anytime. You think Salah can't? You think PSG or Man City won't even go for him just like that? No. We want to keep our best players, and we want to show everyone that we are evolving. And I agree. So back to your original question. Sorry for the long answer, but the answer is yes, it will be a statement that we're in a position now not only to have the best coach in the world, the best well-run club in the world, to make 85 million pound signing for a 22-year-old. We can also pay the wages that keeps a player like Mohamed Salah at our club. What more can they do? I don't know.
Nidhi, I think over the last couple of years, a lot of, I mean, see, and I will never have any hard feelings or harsh feelings, because everyone supports the club in their own way, because the emotion is pure. They want to see the club win. They want to be happy. But Nidhi, even the harshest of critics of our owners are turning now and understanding what the hell is happening.
See, look, honestly, when you look at anything, there is a certain plan, right? And there is a certain execution of this plan. People were not ready to believe that we will go and sign Darwin Nunez this summer, purely because of an image that they had in their head.
Yeah.
This is after we have spent close to 50 million, whatever. I'm not sure about the numbers, on Luis Diaz in January. The reality is this: look, we don't have owners who will pump their own money in the club, but whenever Jurgen Klopp asks for a certain player, chances are, if it's not outside of the realm of realistic or reasonable demands, they will get him. We got Virgil van Dijk, 75
Yeah.
million, at that time highest ever, costliest ever defender. A lot of people keep saying sell to buy, but we wanted to buy Van Dijk before even Coutinho's conversation even came into the picture.
Ask the people that say that. Ask
Yeah.
them, name them a club that is not sell to buy. Name one single club that isn't sell to buy. So basically what they mean by that is you only buy. Which club? Tell me, I don't know of a club. Manchester City have just bought Haaland and Alvarez, and they are just about to recoup their money by selling Sterling and Jesus. Are they
Jesus.
sell to buy? We've just bought Diaz, Jota, Nunez, Carvalho. How many players have we sold in that time? None? A few. Just a few. It's business. Which club is only buy? Of course it's sell to buy. That is the most lazy narrative you can come out with, sell to buy. Laziest narrative, because if you analyze it, there's no... Do you remember Chelsea? They are the best sell to buyers. They sell
Exactly.
the best. But are they known as sell to buy? It's just a lazy narrative, sell to buy. It's a business. You buy, sell. It's how well you sell and how well you buy that should count.
The efficiency of that transaction is what we are nailing at the moment as a Liverpool Football Club. And you mentioned,
Yeah, but but
Nidhi, sorry.
even Van Dijk, we wanted to buy Van Dijk before that season even started. So that question of Coutinho money does not even come into the picture. The you know the reason why we bought Alisson was because of the 2018 Champions League final, right? Karius's confidence was broken, and Jurgen Klopp just realized that it's his confidence is broken. Yes, we got money by selling Coutinho, but like you guys said, it cannot be where we don't sell anybody and we just buy. That's not possible.
The way we have sold is very smart as well. Chris, sorry, I just and Nidhi made a very interesting point, and I agree with him. Whenever Jurgen wants a player, the owners back him. And there has been a lot of avaz, a lot of noise about someone called Jude Bellingham. Uh, and 120 million euros is what is stated. I just want to know how do you feel when you read that Liverpool want Jude Bellingham, Liverpool linked with Jude Bellingham. What do you make of it, Chris?
He seems perfect for us. Why wouldn't we be in for him? But again, why wouldn't Man City be in for him? Why wouldn't Chelsea be in for him? Why wouldn't Real Madrid for him? He's a fantastic young talent, absolute fantastic young talent. So yeah, when we are linked with him, I'm happy. Um, he fits the criteria in terms of homegrown. He's English. His hero is Steven Gerrard. Like literally, he worships Steven Gerrard, his hero. He's so close with Jordan Henderson through the England camp. And, I think it's fairly clear. You don't need me to say this, but I think every Liverpool fan will know that it's fairly clear that he's a very, very strong target of us. Very strong target. But at the end of the day, you can have a target. You can have someone that you want to buy, but then you have to have someone who wants to sell. You can't just go in there and kidnap him. But mashi nahi chalti yaar. You have to do it the right way. Come on,
बदमाशी
this
नहीं चलती.
nahi
but
chalti yaar. So we
but
are,
योगन क्लॉप अपने पुराने क्लब के साथ कर सकते हैं क्या बदमाशी? Can
बदमाशी.
but he has to do his style. Jurgen Klopp का style ही कोई different है यार. So and I'm completely confident and have faith, because obviously straight away the fear in Liverpool fans again comes to, oh yaar, look what happened with Shumeni. Same thing is going to happen with Jude Bellingham.
Yeah.
And my reply, and I'm tired, but I'm not tired for your show. I'm tired by answering it normally on Twitter, is Shumeni wanted Real Madrid from the start. Even though we had a deal agreed for him, he was happy to sign for us if Real Madrid doesn't come in for him. And what happened? They got screwed over with Mbappe, and they said, oh my God, we can't get screwed over again. We have to go for Shumeni and make sure we get him. And that's it. Once Real Madrid came, he wanted to go to them. And this is the total opposite of Jude Bellingham. People are saying, yeah, same thing is going to happen. Real Madrid are going to come and that's it. No. I firmly believe that we've done our homework, and that's why we are so hesitant to go for anyone else, because we've spoken to his family, we've spoken to the player, and we must have a very good understanding of where we are in his opinion and his family's opinion. And I firmly believe he wants us. So therefore, that's why we have to bide our time, unless someone else makes a move for him. Because today, what we're hearing now, they've suddenly put a price on him, and this is what
120
Dortmund done with Sancho to United. They said no, he can't go, but if you want him, 120 million euros. And Man United were offering 70, 80, 70, 80. They said no, we're not budging. And then Man United thought, we'll wait until the last day of the last week. Maybe they will budge. They didn't budge. They're doing this again now. Dortmund, they are very shrewd. They know if you give us the money, we'll sell him. But I don't know. Would you guys, I don't know. Should we give 100 million, 120 million euro, or shall we wait and get him for? Shall we wait for another year and see if we got enough and get him for 30 million euros minimum, less? in my opinion.
I was going to ask you, do you think it's at 120 million? Let's say, and we don't know. These are the figures being reported. These are figures
Yeah.
being talked about. Do you think it's too big of a risk?
I it's just a three, like when it goes into millions and three figure, it is just it's so surreal, it is so unheard of, especially linked with us. I don't know how to digest this, to be honest.
Hmm.
I also think about the fact that, all these years Jurgen Klopp has given the players a chance. I'm thinking about a 21-year-old Curtis. I'm thinking about a teenager Harvey Elliott. Uh, I'm thinking about someone we've signed, Fabio Carvalho. Sure, he will not play in that midfield three, but we have these players. You have a teenager, you have a 21-year-old Curtis. If the price tag is 120 million,
Hmm.
hypothetically, then I feel there is no way we will make that move. Klopp will bide his time, like Grizz mentioned. Give this year to see how Curtis and Elliott blossom, if they do blossom, and see what to do with Jude Bellingham next year, because Jude is still 19, if I'm not wrong. I
19 years
mean,
old, yes.
yeah, so I mean, give him another year in the Champions League with Dortmund, let him have another go at the title race. These are things which we can, I think, afford to do as Liverpool Football Club, because Liverpool Football Club will not go anywhere under the Jurgen Klopp era for sure. So we will still be attractive. We will still be a place that Jude Bellingham would want to come to. Like Grizz mentioned, मेरे को पता नहीं था Steven Gerrard was his idol. मेरे को ये नहीं
Hmm.
पता था कि we've already had conversations. I am sure if we've had conversations, Nidhi, Jude will know एक price है जो हम pay कर सकते हैं. Even he will know. The world knows how we function. But I think this season, Nidhi, we will see more of Curtis and
Yeah,
Harvey Elliott.
this season.
Yeah.
But I want to say one thing, which sort of I think works in our favor when it comes to Jude Bellingham. He's English. Who was the last major English player in his prime to go to Italy, to go to Spain? Beckham. After that,
Uh,
who was the last major English player to
in
go to
his
any of
prime,
their prime?
Michael Owen?
Michael
Mike,
Owen was Michael Owen was before
before,
Beckham.
okay, huh. Huh.
I can't think of anyone else now.
Yeah.
There is, right, so that's English players would much rather prefer playing in the English Premier League.
Yeah.
That's I mean, it's out there, it's true. So I mean, that's inferred logic that I'm talking about, but the proof is there.
Sanket has written Jonathan Woodgate.
Would
I
get
yeah, Jonathan Woodgate did go to Real Madrid. Yeah. Uh, Youth season for Curtis Jones, right? Dave B. Harvey Elliott Diaz coming up. Uh, Chris, do you think कुछ 4-3-3 से we can see a 4-2-3-1 for the coming season? Because Carvalho is someone who played with Mitrovic. He enjoyed really well the Big Bang Wall man. David Nunez is the first striker Jurgen Klopp has signed, like out and out striker. I think the last striker we signed was Solanke in 2017. So are we gonna see a change according to in the way we play, the way we set up? We're gonna have like a pre-season. Last season we didn't have a proper pre-season because of the Euros. Do you think all these things could play a part?
Yeah, 100%. I'm convinced. I'm convinced we will tweak the way we play. Um, with the personnel, because of the personnel, like you mentioned, you don't spend, you don't show that much faith in a young striker like Darwin Nunez by not playing to his strengths.
yeah.
You don't want to end up like Lukaku at Chelsea. You buy a striker and you don't have a clue how to play him, and you waste 100 million like they did. So, and you don't sign a player like Carvalho and show the faith that you've shown in Carvalho. Stick with him, and buy him to stick to the way we now have the personnel to play. I think quite a few formations, and even if we don't change the formation per se, I'm definitely sure we will change the role of a couple of players. So what I've been saying on my show is I genuinely think we will have one extra attacker on the pitch. Now, whether that's a number 10 or whether that's one of the eights that has a
Mhm.
more attacking role, definitely has to be. Because what's the one thing we lacked? And it was most apparent in the Champions League final, I'm afraid. It was most apparent. They gave so much space to our two number eights and our midfield. They let them have the ball because they knew they're not going to attack aggressively. We press aggressively in defensive transitions, but we don't attack aggressively. And that's the one thing Jurgen and Pep will absolutely work on. I have no doubts. And that's why I'm so excited to see preseason. Because guys, I know the way it ended was mad and sad, but I'm so excited to go again. I think we will see a lot of tactical changes. Not a lot, sorry. We don't need to change a lot, but we will see a few tactical tweaks in preseason that will hopefully excite us even more.
Do you think we'll like? I mean, I mentioned Harvey Elliott and Curtis Jones. Do you think these two could be someone that, because I was there and I totally agree with you. The amount of time Thiago, Hendo, Fabinho had on the ball, uh, and Real Madrid was just so happy just sitting deep, and
Yes.
sucking on the pressure. Do you
Yep.
think someone like a Curtis or Harvey is that solution in this team? Fabio Carvalho, who are those players who can run with the ball carriers? Even when Naby Keita came on, he made a slight difference in the final because you could
I think
see
so.
him. He took
Yeah.
the ball, he was aggressive.
I think so. And I think the man for that, or the kid for that, this season is going to surprise everyone. I think it's going to be Fabio Carvalho. And I've been screaming since we were linked in January. I said, guys, we've got a little gem on our hands. Absolute gem. The world is going to say £5 million. You guys pick this guy up from £5 million. He's gonna love it playing with these kind of players. If this guy can pull up the numbers and performances playing alongside Mitrovic and Harry Wilson, what's he gonna do with Bobby, Jota, and Mohamed Salah? This guy is gonna be a star, guaranteed star. And I think we're gonna see a lot of game time given to him in preseason to get used to it, get him up to speed. Yeah, man, I'm so excited. Look, Harvey Elliott, I love the kid. Absolutely love the kid. I've met his father at many games. Such a lovely family. But I think Harvey Elliott will be expecting too much too quick, even this season. And I know I'm contradicting myself by saying I'm expecting Fabio Carvalho.
Yeah.
But the
Yeah.
reason why I'm saying that is for me, they're different types of players. Carvalho is pure running with the ball and attacking aggressively, like we discussed, Manas. We discussed getting the ball and driving at the back four, making spaces, attacking players and finding that, and even finishing. He's a
Yep.
very good finisher. Harvey Elliott is more of Harvey Elliott is more of the passer before the final pass. He's more of a conductor. He's more of an orchestrator. I don't think
More
he's
like a
got the.
Thiago. More like a
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think he's got the dynamics to be getting into the box and finishing chances like a Salah, Carvalho. Jones is the interesting one for me, guys. Curtis Jones. So many dividing opinions about him because he started off in that Carvalho role.
Hmm.
All throughout his career, he was playing in that 10 role, free role he had for the under 21s. He was the king of the team. He could do what he wants. But when it came into the first team, you can see Jurgen Klopp is trying to mold him into almost the Genie replacement. Now he plays almost like Genie, controlling the ball, passing it, getting it, passing it. We don't see him trying to take on players. We don't see him getting into the box. And I think that's more instruction than his talents, because he has got the talent to do that. He's shown us in glimpses. I think it's a huge season for Curtis Jones, a huge season. And I expect him to really show, because the confidence levels, the coach and everyone is around him has shown him. We've had a lot of offers for Curtis Jones, a lot of loan offers, a lot of real offers. Steven Gerrard wants him from Villa, but we believe in him so much that he has to. I agree with Pratik, man. I believe this is make or break. That might sound harsh, because he's so young. But the level we're trying to get to and aspire to, I think he needs to make a very good impression for him to not just be known as a squad player.
Yeah.
Guys, one question, and since we're discussing midfield, Manas, I'll come to you first. Navigator,
Huh.
he's another player who's got one season left on his contract.
Yeah,
I
Niti,
am I am I am in the renew Keita camp firmly. What about you
yeah.
guys?
Two things. Henderson is not getting younger. Thiago is not getting younger. Milner definitely is not getting younger.
He's
Uh,
not getting older.
yeah, Milner is not getting older. But so I mean, Fabinho is 28-ish. There has been talks about we need to freshen things up in the midfield. It could be Jude, it could be Harvey, it could be anyone. It's just maintaining that core which is young, and especially the way we play. नाबी कीटा अगर तू मेरे को एक साल पहले बोलता ना निधि
Hmm.
with his injury record, I would have been like, I would have
Flexible.
been okay to parting ways with him. But last season, Touchwood, he was available for majority of it, and like we've seen in there are many games where Naby Keita makes a huge difference. At the moment, he is that ball carrier that we need in the middle of the park. He is someone who delays that pass, opens up a bit of space, which we need, I feel, which we certainly need. I would renew Naby Keita's contract for sure because he's been here for a bit. He knows the way we play. He knows the system. He knows the pressing. And if he stays fit, he is an asset. Now it depends on how much we are willing to offer him, whether he's willing to accept what we want. But I think for me, Navigator should stay on. I mean, there are no two ways about it. And too much change is not great either, Nidhi. We've spoken about that as well. Like,
Right.
we've seen Genie leave, Emre Can leave, Shakiri leave, Origi leave, Mane leave. Uh, so I don't want to see too much change. So, because we need to keep a core intact. So, I feel Navigator should be part of that core.
Driz, what do you think?
I think I I change my mind about Naby every 6 months, but something I can share with you guys is he has been offered a new deal, and he will be extending. So
Oh,
so we know that now. Um, well, he
Wow.
hasn't signed it yet, but he will. But he's been offered it, and the indications are that he will accept it. Um, so that's that. We
Wow. Okay.
doesn't matter what we think now.
You should have just butted in. I just kept on rambling for two,
No,
3 minutes.
no. He hasn't signed it, so we don't know if he's accepted it. But we have offered him a new deal. Um, he hasn't accepted it yet, as far as I know. But the indications are that he will. But Klopp loves him. We have
yeah.
to understand this. Klopp loves this guy, and it's only because of his injuries and inconsistencies in terms of. I think his performance is related to because of he doesn't get a constant run in the team. Like Mana said at the Champions League final, I thought he made a difference, but I'm expecting him to stay. I wasn't sure if we should
Mhm.
because he hasn't been spectacular. We have to admit, we have to
Yeah,
call
yeah.
a spade a spade. He hasn't been spectacular. If we are still deciding after 4 years, if we're still unsure after 4 years, that means we're sure. If you know what I mean. Why are we
Yeah.
still unsure after 4 years? You shouldn't be unsure after 4 years. So that's my only thing. I like him. I think he's a good player. I just, like you said, the dynamics of our midfield. I want a different dynamic in our midfield. And I don't know if Naby can take us to that dynamic. I don't know. I'm a fan of him. I'm very okay with it if he accepts it. But he's the last person that we can actually get good money for in the midfield. Like no one's willing to pay 10 million for Ox. Like no one's going to pay Henderson 10, 15 million. But Naby, we can still pick up 25, 30 million if we were
Even
to.
with just 1 year remaining on his deal?
I beg your pardon. You are right. No, it's 2 years.
No, 1 year.
No,
Oh, 1 year.
I think
I
it's
beg
one
your
year.
pardon. You are right. You are right. 1 year left. But even 1 year left, there's many a German club that we could do a swap with, you know. So there's a few players, he has his stock is still high in Germany. His stock is still high in Germany. So that's the issue. But I think he will be sorted. I think him, Joe Gomez, uh, will be offered new deals and they will stay. Which I think Joe Gomez is crucial as well.
Yeah,
Wow.
I
Okay.
agree.
So Nidhi, I wanted to ask you guys about Joe Gomez. Grizz, you have like 10 odd minutes more, right? For
No
us.
problem, sir. No problem. No problem.
Joe Gomez, Nidhi.
Hmm.
I personally feel we will see him getting more minutes for sure this season. It being the we haven't mentioned the World Cup so far in the 45 odd minutes. I just am so petrified about that tournament. It's gonna ruin a season for quite a few teams. I hope it's not for us. I don't know whether Joe is going to be traveling to the World Cup. I don't think, because he hasn't gotten the minutes over the last couple of years, Nidhi.
Hmm.
But last season, I would say. But Nidhi, I think Matip और गोमेज का रोल थोड़ा रिवर्स होगा मेरे हिसाब से अभी वी विल सी लाइक कोनाटे एंड Gomez as well being molded as a partnership, maybe in those League Cup games or FA Cup games, because we are playing those Champions League games, group stage ke 6 match in 8 weeks. Then we have the World Cup. Then we have those cup competitions, the league campaign. I don't know how we're going to finish those 38 games in such a short time. Nidhi, what do you think? Joe Gomez will get much more time and it'll be happy for him to accept that new contract?
Yes, I think see, there are a couple of things. I think there were a lot of conversations about Joe Gomez, especially after his injury. This happened or that happened. I think that he's still a very important player for us. He's the future. In many ways, he is the future for Liverpool. I think he should get a new deal. I think he will get a new deal. And this season, I do see him getting involved a lot more, because even during the last season, towards the end of the campaign, we saw that Joe Gomez was getting minutes at right back, and he did well. Obviously, you have to put things in context. He was coming off of a very serious injury and all that. But I, I would be I'm very firmly in favor of giving Joe Gomez a new contract.
Grace, simply from Gomez's perspective, the only thing is going to be playing time, right? Like he needs playing time. That's as simple as that, I think.
Yeah, I think so. But I think again, I know, I know maybe it's cringe to other players or other clubs fans, but we've got some of the nicest people at our club. Like Joe Gomez is another example of such a amazing human being, and he knows that everything he's gone through, we've stuck with him through thick and thin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've supported him in his the most lowest of times, and he knows he's the future. Like we've heard Virgil van Dijk when they're doing their adverts or sponsorship stuff with regards to sponsorship, he's always joking and laughing and saying, pointing to excuse me, pointing to Konate and Joe, saying these guys are the future. So there is absolutely an understanding with Joe Gomez and the coaches and the club that he's the future. And as you said, Matip, again, what an amazing, amazing servant to the club.
Yeah.
But naturally, he will be eased out slowly, slowly. Again, what an amazing free signing. Unbelievable free signing. And again, he's, amazed people that how he played so many games last season. And he will be slowly, slowly eased out. So Joe Gomez, for me, he's such a cool guy. And I think what sticks out for me is just before his injury, when the season when Virgil van Dijk got injured and Matip, everyone got injured. I love the way Gomez assumed responsibility for such a young man in that period before he was unfortunately injured himself.
Yeah.
But those 5, 6 games, I can't remember the exact number, but he showed me a different level of maturity and responsibility. And since then, I've never wanted him to leave. So I think it'll be huge, huge if he accepts our offer and deal and decides to stay, which I'm very confident about Joe Gomez.
Guys, let's talk a little bit about our biggest acquisition, Darwin Nunez. I'll be honest, Grizz, I have not seen a lot of Darwin Nunez play. I mean, whatever I've seen of him, it was in the Champions League, mostly against us, and a few games against Barca and Inter, etc. What are you expecting from Darwin Nunez in his first season?
I pretty famously before our game with Benfica, I had a Benfica fan and was doing a preview on our show on our channel, and they said, "Oh, we're going to play Benfica, Danger Man." And before anyone spoke, I said, "Rafa Silva is the Danger Man." They said, "Are you feeling okay?" I said, "Yeah, Rafa Silva." They said, "Do you know Darwin Nunes?" I said, "Yeah, I know Darwin Nunes, but I'm not a big fan of him." That clip has been shown hundreds and hundreds and thousands, or maybe possibly thousands of times to me, and I stick by what I said in terms of I'm not his biggest fan. I said he's a good player. I see his attributes, but also I'm humble enough to say I haven't got a clue as much as Klopp and Pep Linders.
Yeah,
So if they've seen something that they know they can utilize in our team, in our setup, then I will take a seat and sit down and support my team and Darwin Nunes. Since then, that was when did we play them? I think February or something. I can't remember now.
yeah, April or something. It was
April.
the
It was
first leg.
April the first leg. This was before the first leg.
Yeah,
I can't remember now. Yeah. So I see the attributes. I see the raw talent, and I know I trust Klopp and the coaches. What they've seen, I just will have to humble myself and say I was wrong. That's it. Simple as. But I've got full expectation that he will be a success. I just think he's got a lot of things to work on. But that's not an indictment. He's 22 years old. He's a child
yeah,
still in footballing terms, especially striker terms. So that's why I said at the time, and I'm going to stick with that. But absolutely supportive, and that's what we're supposed to do as fans, man. As supporters, we support. We don't criticize before the guy's even worn his shirt. Like, are we stupid to even speak down about him? We can have an
yeah,
opinion, but we can't have, as I said before, we can't have an opinion set in stone until he performs in our club, with our players, with our coaching, with our environment. So yeah, I've got no doubts about his long-term success. I think it may take a little time to see the best of him, which is understandable, which is fine.
100%. Because when you think about it, guys, the fact that, I mean, club record fee, to to pay that much money. So I mean, yeah, and history shows under Jurgen Klopp the signings that we've made, they've been pretty okay, right? I think they know what they're doing back doors. So I think I'm super super excited because the last memory of a striker that I have playing for Liverpool week in week out was Luis Suarez. Like after that show we had Balotelli, show we had
Ricky Lambert.
Lambert,
Origi, then Danny Ings, then Lambert, then Solanke. Then in the midst of all this, Origi survived, thrived, won our hearts, and won so much.
The
But we've
Champions League,
the Champions
won
League.
our
That's
hearts and the Champions League.
Champions League and the league, and he terrorized Everton whenever he played. But we've never seen a bloody, like that striker, like so. I mean, so obviously it's something to be super super excited about, Nidhi. So I mean, I am very very much looking forward to it, and I'm very much looking for like I don't believe too much in these narratives, player versus player, like
Hmm.
Messi versus Ronaldo, but the narrative is already built. Haaland
Well
and
said.
Nunez, like the big players who's going to make an impact next season. But Grizz, before we let you go, uh, the last few seasons have been just like we if we lose two games, we don't win a league. Like it's just so it's just so tough. The league is something which we all want. Do you think we have strengthened enough in the right areas if it stays this way when it comes to incomings, that we can get
Why?
that one and a half point more.
Why did you ask the hardest question right at the end?
Yeah,
Eh?
yeah.
You can tell you're an expert in this. That you saved the best question or the hardest question. Yeah, I know you. We always say concentrate on yourself, like the club, but sometimes you have to look around. And I'm gonna I'm gonna do Badmashi and reverse the question on you for 30 seconds.
Sure.
Man City lose Jesus, they lose Sterling, and possibly they're gonna lose Bernardo Silva if Barcelona come in for him because he wants to leave. Do you think they've strengthened by just bringing in Alvarez and Haaland by replacing those two who play in a system like with Pep and the way they play by buying two totally different types of strikers? Do you think they're strengthened or do you think they're about the same or weakened? What do you think?
I have seen Haaland quite a lot. I genuinely feel they've got a really good player in Haaland.
Of course.
In Alvarez, I have never ever seen him play. So my opinion on this, genuinely, if you're counting two players, one of them I've never seen. So I genuinely can't speak about Manchester City. But I know for a matter of fact, even Pep, just like Klopp, you can say whatever you want about Manchester City if you don't like Pep, but I respect Pep and his recruitment and his philosophy. Every player that he gets, my oh my, it. I mean, majority of the times it does work out. I mean, I can't say anything about Manchester City. All I can say is that if they spot a handball by Rodri, give it this time. Maybe it will make a difference for the coming season. That's
But
all
the
that I
point, the point I was trying to get to and make was, look, we always, of course, we should only concern ourselves with us first and foremost. But you got to look around. Look, I've said all along, I would like one more midfielder. I
Yeah.
think we need one more midfielder. The profile of midfielder that I would personally like is someone with pace and power, as opposed to a ball playing creative type. Okay. I think just because of the fact that there's going to be so many games this season in such a short, because of the World Cup as well, I genuinely think we're going to see levels increase from Diego Jota. Diego Jota, we've slept on him. I definitely know for a fact we will see another level of Luis Diaz because we haven't seen, I think we've seen about 70% of him. This is no preseason. He came in the middle of the season. Let's not forget he already played 50 games for Porto before he signed for us. He ended up playing fucking 72 games or something for the season. I know we're going to see another level of Trent improving because he's still a young kid. Konate
Yeah.
improving because he's still a young kid. Curtis and Elliott we've spoken about. Then after that, guys, then after that, it's all down to fine margins that are out of our control, really, because Thiago, Fabinho remain fit, Virgil remain fit, Mohamed
Mhm.
Salah remain fit. If they remain fit, and the other tangibles that I've mentioned, we're as good as any team in Europe, and we know that. We know that for a fact. We're not just boosting our own club. We know that for a fact. The proof is there that we're as good as any team in Europe. It's just fine margins here and there. A goalkeeping performance from an elite goalkeeper, a handball from the, the worst refereeing decisions ever. Things like the small margins that make you know for a fact that you're this close to immortality. So if you're asking me, are we good enough to win the league? My long-winded answer is we absolutely are. We absolutely are. I'm expecting a totally refreshed Liverpool, and especially this announcement that we're going to get just before the season. I think we're going to be so pumped and full of fire, man. It's going to be
I
amazing, amazing.
I was gonna ask you, circling back to that tweet of yours saying Liverpool will break the internet. So I was gonna ask you if that is going to be a happy news or break the internet
Oh
in a
no,
different
no.
way. But
Well,
you
yeah. we had the bad news with Sadio. No more sad. We honestly, I don't know about you guys. We were all mourning, right? No, no,
Yeah, it
no,
was
no, no,
very
no.
sad.
One thing we know about FSG. One thing we know about FSG is they are brilliant, brilliant. They know when to play the what's the word, the good card in the market, like marketing wise. They know when to give the fan base a little boost.
Yeah.
And just before the start of the season will be a beautiful boost, beautiful boost, and we will go rocking into the season, man. I'm telling you, Jurgen Klopp's Red Army, here we come again. Get ready for the roller coaster, guys. Get to the front of the queue. I'm telling you, you're gonna be disappointed.
Yeah, it's all going to start on 30th July, the Community Shield, and that is going to be against Manchester City, the first game of the season, the real first game of the season against the team that matters, that we need to beat. It's going to be absolutely amazing. Grizz, it
But
has been amazing.
Grizz,
Sorry, Nidhi. Yeah, yeah.
Grizz, last question. Last question. Um, we lost in Paris, but Jurgen said something after that. Book your hotels in Istanbul. Have you booked your hotel?
I've already done it. I've reached I've reached out to friends. As soon as he said that, I didn't have Wi-Fi, so I had to wait 30 minutes. As soon as I got Wi-Fi, I called all my friends in Turkey. I said, listen, book a villa, hotel, a motel, a hut, anything. Just book it. Already booked me in, so that's done because I don't want to pay the prices that we had to pay for Paris in the end. So I've done the smart move of book it early. But yes, 100%, 100%.
Manas, let's book it. Let's book it. I mean, Menace and the Monk this time.
Yes, but Grizz, it was a pleasure. Thank you so much for giving us your time. And to be very honest, this was one of the most fun lives that we've done. And you know, the energy, and I'm just saying, the soul is very happy because the sheer amount of joy and optimism that you've brought for the last 1 hour,
Yeah,
it's been amazing. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you don't need to keep embarrassing me by saying this. We're like brothers, we're like family, and especially we have the coach that epitomizes what you've just said. So what we can do, the least we can do, is take on his philosophy, teachings, his wise words, his positive energy, and take it with us. And this is why we're so amazing when we go away from Anfield as well. We are known for our away support. We are known for our home support, of course. But it's this positive energy that we have to take with us. Look, we can be realistic sometimes about our chances in a game or something. But once the game kicks off and the whistle goes, we have to be positive and bring that out in us. So it's been an absolute pleasure and really enjoyed this speaking to you guys as well. Thank you very much for having me on.
we absolutely loved it. We absolutely loved it.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much, Nidhi. Thank you so much, everyone. We're seeing so many comments. We're so sorry because the chat was
Yeah,
just so organic that we couldn't get many comments in as well. But we really appreciate you guys uh, actually coming in. If you guys haven't subscribed to Grizz and his channel, the link it's in the title and it's in the description as well. Please do subscribe to him as well. Of course, you've heard so much from him, and this is the positivity that he spreads. And if you are new to our channel, please do consider subscribing to us as well. Until then, until tomorrow, day after, we'll be back again up the fucking red. See you guys. Bye bye.
good night.